Hey YouTube. At the end of the last video I finished making the new brackets on the back here, and today I'm just going to run a manual cut around the edge to just relieve it so I can sit it down nice and flush, see how it fits. But before I put in the new monitor, so I bought a new monitor to replace this cracked one. Before I do that, I need to make the what do you call it, piece of wood that goes there where the keyboard's going to sit, and that will be the next on the project right after I clean up this mess, and then we'll get into it. Time for a quick manual trim. I'm about a 1mm low on this end. I guess when you think about it, I had to weld the bars in, so there's always going to be a slight variation. I'll have to fix that, probably put a spacer under this side, should bring that up. Okay, but that'll do for now. Okay, so what I'm about to do could go terribly wrong for several reasons. The type of toolpath that I've chosen to do these two cutouts here are fairly complex, so they might overwhelm the PC, and I could have issues with it not cutting right, or it being jerky, or just not responding, or doing something really weird. So we'll give it a go and see what happens. I'm setting it up to try do the end of the board first, so if it does stuff up, at least I can try to reclaim the board back. So let's plug it in and give it a go. It's pretty hard to beat the finish on this thing. That's as smooth as can be. On the walls where it's straight, they're nice and clean. Obviously these two sides here look a bit furry because they're on a diagonal, and MDF is way too fine. If it was metal, you'd get a whole different look and a whole different finish to it, but it is going to be a little bit furry, but that's fine. It'll be the right shape, and that's all that matters. You just started the last pass now, and we're up to 1 hour 24 to do one hole. This is going to be one hell of a long job. This is hole number 1 of 6. So yeah, I could have just put the chamfer on here with an angle grinder quite easily after the thing was cut out, but this, as much as anything, this is an experiment in trying to work out toolpath, and it is done. Where are we? 125 to do one hole. It's only doing 0.3 of a millimetre in depth every cut, because it's obviously it needs to step across to put the chamfer on, and that's why it's taking so long. I could probably do a couple of millimetres per cut if I was doing a straight sided cut, like I will later on. Okay, let's see what this other hole turned out like. Okay, well you can't argue with the results. It's a pretty damn decent finish. It's furry here and here as you'd expect, because that's MDF and you're not going to get a sharp edge on MDF. But the edge is where I went straight down. See if I can put a little bit of light on that. You can see that edge is a lot sharper. And this one should be too. So this one looks a little bit on the furry side on these two sides. But it's not really that bad actually, it feels quite smooth, it's just furry like you'd expect MDF to be. But these two are nice and sharp and clean. Although I'll be coming across here, across there, around and over here. So these edges won't be part of the finished product. I'm just going to see if I can bump up the speed. The problem with a lot of these dynamic toolpaths is that even if I bump it up, it may not necessarily increase the speed because it's setting its speed itself. But let's have a look. Very slow to respond. Or it could be the touchscreen too, because see, it's making no difference to the speed of the cut, so it is what it is. You can hear there's no change in the sound. I've just doubled the speed, but still going the same speed. So just got to suck it and wait the hour and 25 minutes for it to finish. The two centre ones are going to be a different shape to these, so I can't do it on the centre ones. But what I might do is I might redo the drawing to come across here, so that instead of it cutting out here, which it's not going to use anyway, that it comes across here. And maybe that might cut down the time it takes to do it. We'll see how it goes. Now you might be wondering why I'm going to this much trouble. In each of the corners I've got welds, which I tried to put a chamfer on, try to keep them fairly even. So even though it's on the bottom side and it won't be seen, my own peace of mind and OCD, I'll try to put chamfers on them to match those guys. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, because all my welds aren't perfectly chamfered the same way. But we'll see how it goes. The other problem that I thought about while I was drawing them up was these crossbars. When I originally designed this plate to go in, let's step back a little bit, I had a big open area there where I could just simply sit one side in on the three locations it's going to need to sit around the bars, and then I could just drop this side in an arc, around like that, drop it into an arc, fit them into place. Now that I've welded these bars in here, it's going to be several hours before I find out whether what I'm doing is going to work or not. I mean, it will work. I can put a cut up the middle or do something if I need to, but yeah. And we're done. 2 hours, 50 minutes. When you do these bigger jobs where there's a lot of lines of code, it's very slow to respond afterwards. Like I'm pressing now. That took several seconds for that to come to translate into a movement. And there we are, there's the hole. Nice and clean. So it's saying the sides are nice and sharp on the straight down sides, but where you got the chamfer, it feels smooth. It's just a little bit raggy because that's the nature of MDF. It's a little bit raggy, and it's been cut on an angle. But these guys, very smooth. Okay, so that's it for today. Time to pull up stumps and call it a day. Okay, new day. Got some sunshine back. Just a quick overview of what was happening yesterday. I completed those 2 holes in a whole 2 hours and 50 minutes. I've rejigged the toolpath again to try to see if I can speed it up, and let's get going. Immediately you can tell that's going a heck of a lot faster than yesterday. Just looking at the speeds here, you can see that it's also travelling a lot faster than it was yesterday as well. So it's a great improvement using this toolpath over the other one. This is just a 3D pocket, I think, if memory serves me right. Hopefully on the video here you can see where I've cut the corner off, like I was talking about, to reduce the amount of area. That should also help. Just looking at the step down, I'm stepping down 0.2 of a millimetre every time it goes down on the Z. And yesterday I was doing 0.3, which was actually further every step down. But I think the step over, so where the cutter is cutting, I think it's stepping over the previous area more today than it was yesterday. I think it must have been very, very fine step over yesterday, where today it's a little bit more aggressive. But hopefully that shouldn't make the taper look too steep or too, I don't know, how would you describe it, like a pyramid when it washes out the sandstone, how it looks stepped. So hopefully it won't look too stepped. Okay, that first hole's done. And how long did that take? Where are we? 17.5 minutes to do a hole versus an hour 50 yesterday. So how does the hole look? I'd say it's probably on par with the other hole. Have a look. Pretty similar, I'd say. But an hour and a half quicker. So that's a heck of a damn sight better toolpath. Hole 2's now done. How long did that take? 35 minutes to do the first 2 holes. Not sure how long this is going to take, because it looks like a smaller hole. Oh, maybe not. I thought it looked a bit smaller in the drawing, but maybe not. But it should take. It's more square. It'd be interesting to see how long this one takes. I think this guy's doing a lap of the neighbourhood today. Where is he? There a second ago. Oh, there he is. Looks much closer throughout not in the video. Oh, what have we got here? whole prop plane. He is doing laps, thought he was. Moving on the next hole, 53.06, it was on about 35, so about 18 minutes to do that hole. So slightly longer to do that hole than the one in the corner. They were only 15 and this was 18. But still way quicker than doing those other holes the other way. In fact, we're only up to 53 minutes. I'll probably have the whole thing, the last hole done, have the border cut out, and still have probably half an hour to spare on doing one hole yesterday. And we're done. 4 holes in 1 hour, 11 minutes. Heck of a lot quicker than a single hole yesterday. Time for the outside pass. I don't like the sound of that. I've only got a millimetre and a half, but they might be still too far down. And it's finished. 1 hour 24 minutes to do the 4 remaining holes, plus cut out the border. Heck of a lot quicker than it took an hour 50 just to do one hole. So definitely a much improved toolpath.